Monday. Hope you had a great weekend and a great day today. It's been last I broadcast was on Thursday, so it's been a 3-day weekend for me. Not today was not a weekend. We'll get to that in a moment. While we're waiting on folks to join, Cooped Up is my website. You can visit that at any time. I'm Cooped Up is my handle in all the social places. Would love a follow wherever. Why am I suddenly going hoarse? This always happens. End of the day, I'm Cooped Up is my handle on all the social places. And wherever you watch or listen to this, because we do broadcast it live on Facebook Live and YouTube Live, as well as restream it on all of the major podcasting platforms. For those of you who just want to listen along while you're walking or cooking dinner or whatever, you can do that. So be sure to click the bell, subscribe button, whatever it is called on the platform of your choice. Hey, Mama, good to see you. Hi. So last time we spoke was Thursday, and I had quite a busy weekend actually. Hang on, I just thought of something else I wanted to talk about. So Thursday evening we had a school event. Well, first of all, let me backtrack a little bit. As I have updated y'all, I am on this diet. Optavia is the diet. Basically, you eat a bunch of space food and you eat one real meal a day and you lose all this weight. I know so many people who've said, oh my God, it worked for me. It worked for me. It worked for me. Well, I will tell you, it is working for me too. I have since last Monday, so 7 days ago when I started it, I've already lost pushing 6 pounds, over 5 pounds and pushing 6 pounds, just that. And I have not been the good boy that I'm supposed to be. I am not. So my granddaddy used to always say that he has plenty of willpower. He will eat this and he will drink that. I very much inherited that from my granddaddy because restrictive diets do not work on me. But this one, hey, Sam is listening while he Chardonnays. I love it. So on this diet that I'm on, I have lost, like I said, over 5 pounds. And I have cheated a little bit. I'm not going to lie. I had Friday, I had lunch with my friends Eric and Craig. And I had 2 glasses of wine there. And it was so funny. When we all first sat down and the waiter comes out and he's like, so will you be having anything to drink today? They all both looked at me like, okay, because it was well known that I'm on this diet. And I was like, I will have a glass of iced tea and a glass of Sauvignon Blanc. And everyone was like, like they were really, like they were hanging on. They didn't want to be the only ones drinking. So I could not have done that to my dear friends, Eric and Craig. So I drank along. Only 2 glasses of wine, which is, that should just count as not drinking, right? I think that when you're in the league that I am in on borderline alcoholism or whatever it is, 2 glasses of wine does not count as anything. That's just table stakes, right? And so we had that and had lunch, great, wonderful lunch, talked about everything, everybody, all the things. And then Thursday night, I had Eric is saying we were wildly relieved when you ordered a glass of wine. Yes, I know. I felt it. I felt the hang, like as I said it, and I may have intentionally had a little pregnant pause after the glass of iced tea, which, by the way, was the only glass of iced tea I've had also in ages, because I've mostly given up caffeine as well. But I was like, and then I ordered the other, and everyone was like, oh, crisis averted. Aaron, that's just the appetizer. Yes, I agree. And then Saturday, Todd made dinner, and because he left town yesterday. Todd is in Munich, Germany this week. He left town yesterday morning, and he is there until Friday evening. And he texted me last night at like 11 something, right as I was turning in to go to bed. He texted me that he had landed in Munich, so he is there, all good. But what a waste! So usually when Todd is out of town, I mean, I've got so many conflicting priorities, y'all. I tell you, I mean, and by priorities, I mean none of them are all that important. But normally when Todd goes out of town, what I do is I will I will basically just be a lush and watch Home Shopping Network or QVC the whole time. Sometimes I'll redecorate a room of the house, like I'll paint something or I'll move some of the artwork around or something like that. I do these things that I don't need his approval on, and not that I need his approval, but you know what I mean. I don't get his immediate judgment on it. Let's rephrase that. But since I'm not drinking and I'm on this diet, and the reason I will tell you, there's a couple of reasons I'm on this diet. One, I'm fat. Number two, my dad died because he got fat. And number three, the other thing is I have my 25th college reunion a week from Friday. So I'm trying to slim down for that a little bit. Because I've lost my love handles. So I looked this morning in the mirror when I'm standing up, at least. I don't have the side love handles anymore. So that's because I'm down 10 pounds total from when I tried to do it myself. And then, like I said, pushing 6 since last Monday. But so I've got that. And so now I'm just like all these conflicting things. But I also want to be thinner for Thanksgiving, but I don't plan to continue this at Thanksgiving. But just, I was so big when everyone saw me last. And so I kind of want to have this grand, like, oh, I want to be Oprah pulling the wagon moment. That's what I want. I need an Oprah. What would Oprah do? She would pull a wagon full of her own fat. She actually regrets that now. She's publicly kind of denounced herself as arrogant and egomaniacal in that moment. Let her ego get the best of her on that. So Saturday night, totally got off track. Saturday night, Todd made dinner. And it was wonderful. I was able to eat some spinach, a small steak, a tiny little steak, but still small steak, and kept within it. But I did have some wine. I did go to the store. I looked up, like, this diet is kind of similar to keto. It's high protein, low carb, low calorie. And so I looked up, like, on keto, like, what the best wines to drink are. And it said that people swear by Pinot Grigio because it's like the lightest of the lightest of the lightest of the light. So I was like, done. So I was at the grocery store and I picked up 2 bottles of Pinot Grigio for Todd and I to have with dinner. Both of them went away. I'm not going to tell you the division of assets on that, but it was much more in my favor than his. And but anyway, so there was that. And then vodka is the other thing. Everyone says vodka's great. I can do vodka, but then I don't know. It makes me a different kind of sleepy or something. So anyway, so we had that. But then Thursday night, I had the prime opportunity to cheat, and I did not. So as I confess all these things, I'm going to pat myself on the back a little bit on this. That Thursday night, we had an event for our new campus for the kids' school. It was the first time that most of these people had been toured the campus. All this stuff, it had an open bar and all that kind of stuff. You know, can't have a school event without an open bar, at least our school. But and I did not drink a drop. Did not. I had a bottle of water that I carried with me the whole time, and that was it. So I am going to take pride in that. I will say that not drinking it's really only hard between like 5 and 7. Once I hit about the 7 o'clock mark, I'm like, okay, I'm okay. But between 5 and 7, I'm kind of like, oh, I miss the routine of it. Well, I miss the buzz too, but I miss the routine of it. I miss blah, blah, blah. So my mom is saying, I'll be in that fat wagon you'll be pulling at Thanksgiving. The one nice thing about vodka is great until it's not, my sister says. Yeah, I know. And Monica's asking me, have I measured again? I have not. And I wrote the measurements down somewhere. I'm sure I put it in my Google Keep, which is on that screen right there. I need to measure again just to see if I'm seeing it. This is the most exciting part of the weekend. I ran into someone that I knew who did not know I was on a diet, who did not know anything about this, who had just seen me and he was like, have you lost weight? You look a lot thinner in the face. Like your face looks like it's got more angle to it again. And I'm like, man, if you weren't straight, I'd kiss you right now. Actually, well, whatever. Eric is saying about Friday. I thought we were amazingly controlled in our drinking. When I got home at 3:45, Mark was pleasantly surprised. I know. This is the thing. I was like, okay, I was very proud of us on that too, Eric. I will say that I consider that a win as well, because normally our lunches are a 3 to 4 drink minimum and usually a 3 to 4 hour minimum. And when Craig said he had a 3 o'clock appointment and you and I hung out later, I was like, okay, so this is either going to keep rolling or whatever. But I know we got home 3 something. Traffic was crazy on Friday, though. By the way, if you were cheering for OU, I don't know much about sports, but I know that that's not what you're supposed to do. Texas did what they're supposed to do. They understood the assignment. That's all I know about it. I actually don't even know what the score was. We need to remove your wallet. LOL. What is Sam talking about? I'm falling behind on the comments. You're talking about the QVC and HSN? I don't know what you're talking about. So anyway, so that is the diet update portion of the program today. What else? Todd is popping that. You have such a good memory. I joke that Todd, when we go out of town, and the background on this is when we go out of town, specifically to Europe, Todd always gets his fashionable self on. He pops every collar he owns when we are, like, especially if it's a polo collar. I tend to go a little crazier with my scarves and all that kind of stuff. Yes, but Todd is the popped collar. That is funny. I was just saying, I don't think OU realized there was a game on Saturday. And it was 49-0, according to Eric, who shockingly is the sports reporter today. I saw a video from the Cotton Bowl of nearing the end of the game where all of the Longhorns, which, by the way, my husband is a Texas Longhorn graduate program. He went to Macomb School of Business there. I don't know if graduate programs count. I don't know anyone who is from a graduate program who's like overly spirited. I'm from my undergrad. By the way, this is a new shirt. I just got it in anticipation of homecoming in 2 weeks. But I did this on the try before you buy thing on Amazon. I forgot. Have y'all done that? So there's this thing, if you have Amazon Prime, I don't know if it's open to everybody, but there's this thing called Try Before You Buy. And basically you can put, like, I think up to 5 items in your cart. I believe they have to all be clothing items. And you put them all in your cart, and then Amazon will just send them to you. You don't, and then if you don't return them within 7 days, they charge your card. But it is great for people like me who I buy shit all the time, and then I just return it if I don't like it. I will buy 3 sizes of something. I will buy 3 colors of something. Like I bought my tennis shoes that I'm wearing now for my walking and stuff. I bought the same ones in 3 different colors to decide which ones I liked, and I returned the 2 I did not like. I almost kept another one of them, but I kept the one and sent them back. No charge on the card until they knew how we were settling up. I love it. So this was in that. I did like 3 SMU shirts from Amazon, and this is the one that went out. You know, I love a long sleeve t-shirt. Monica, though, it's probably scratchier than you like. We want to go to that game next year. Well, you are welcome to stay here and go all by yourself. I have zero interest in going to the Texas OU game. And I forgot what I was saying. So Texas, at the Texas OU game, oh my God, maybe I need to start drinking again. Near the end of the game, there was someone doing a video panning the crowd, whatever you call it, the crowd, and the Texas side was like packed full, raring to go, all that stuff. The OU side was everyone left. Everyone was gone, just done. I know so many. I don't know what time the game started, but I know so many of my OU friends were already posting pictures at like 11:30 from brunch, like elsewhere, just not even at Fair Park anymore. Gone. So Monica's saying you could have made that. I could have. I could get the logo for it. It's really big though. This is a big logo. But on my Cricut, what else? Did anyone have today off? Crickets. I know. It is so weird how, so I can tell people who like work with me, work for me, whatever. I can tell you the ones who were raised in a state that acknowledges Columbus Day and one that doesn't. because I always, this time of year, people either accidentally don't show up for work on this day, or they start asking questions over the week. Are we off on Monday? And I'm like, nope, we're not. In Texas, they don't even acknowledge it. Eric is saying they had school. So did ours. Our kids had a project due today at school. They had to do their speeches for student council elections, which they both did tremendously well. I'll get to that in a moment. But it was so weird. And then Aaron is saying they were off. And then I have another friend that was off on Friday and today. It's just such a weird thing. And Monica took off for her colonoscopy. Did you have a shitty day, Monica? But bunch. Were banks and post offices open? That is the weird thing. So the banks were closed and the post offices were closed, but the stock exchange was not closed. Stocks were traded today. So it is just like, I don't know how they figure out what it was. And actually, when I heard friends in New York talking about being off for a long weekend, I thought they were taking it off for Yom Kippur, if we're being honest. I did not even think for a minute it was Columbus Day or Indigenous Peoples Day or whatever we're calling it now. But I can't think in Texas of a single time that we've even acknowledged it. Funny enough, all of the schools take President's Day off, but not Columbus Day. And I feel like President's Day is, well, I guess in hindsight, it's probably a more notable day because it actually is honoring good people. The more that comes out about Christopher Columbus, the more we're like, okay, maybe we should backtrack on the admiration a little bit. So, so it is a federal holiday. My mother is reporting in. So, like I mentioned, the kids had their STUCO, Student Council elections, which happen tomorrow. Mason is running for president and Claire is running for secretary, I believe. And they had to give speeches. And come Saturday, I was threatening my family. I was like, if you need anything for these speeches, if you need a t-shirt, if you need a special piece of clothing, if you need anything at all, I was having like a mommy dearest moment on Saturday. I was like, you need to tell me now, because tomorrow shit ain't going to happen. You're going to be SOL if you tell me tomorrow. And especially if you tell me tomorrow at 5:00. I will not have it. I will not. It's like poor planning on your part does not constitute a crisis on mine. That's what I tell clients that. I tell I tell my family that, all of that. So, but what was I saying? Oh, so the difference between my two children, though. So Claire, by Saturday morning, already knew exactly what she was going to wear today. She had already had it all picked out. She knew she had me iron one of the things, all of that kind of stuff. Yes, I iron. She had her speech written and she was already memorizing her speech. So she had me help her print it out at a small size so she could put it on a card like this so that she had her notes, but not to read from, just to have them in case she couldn't remember her speech. All of that was rehearsing and I could hear her rehearsing it. Guess when Mason started? And he did very well. And so his style suits him. This is not critical. It's just different style. I asked Mason yesterday, so how's your speech coming? I'm just starting to write it. And this was at like 6:00 yesterday. So, yeah. But they both, I think, did well. The election is tomorrow. We will find out the results tomorrow. We potentially have a house full of elected officials. Who knew? Who knew? Who knew that my children would someday be student body vice president, president, secretary, all of those things? Who knew? Who could have imagined it? I've been president of everything I've ever been involved in. Not because I seek it out. It just happens. It just happens. Yes, I know. Talking about President's Day. February is so dreary and awful. I live for having President's Day off. Funny thing, today at work, I actually pulled together our 2023 holiday calendar and gave it to everybody so that if they're starting to plan vacations, time off, all that kind of stuff, they can plan around that. And we added this year 6 agency days as well, where it is mandatory to attend. So it's not a day off, but it's not a working day. We'll do something fun most of the days. I think we're going to do a volunteer service project one of the days. We're eating one of the days, all that kind of stuff. So maybe take a class, like a cooking class. I don't know what we're going to do, but just something silly, fun, that sort of thing. But I cannot believe we're already at the point now where we're pulling together the calendar for the work calendar for 2023. Monica's saying students didn't have school, or her son Sterling didn't have school today. Dallas schools were in session today, which is interesting. I thought they had everything off, but they were off this past Friday for Fair Day, and they're off this coming Friday for Fair Day also. So that's probably what plays into that. We have 2 tickets to go to the fair. I'm not sure we'll make it. Between my diet and just, I can't want to go. Like, I think that we may pass on the state fair this year, especially if it doesn't cool down some. I will tell you one of the things I did this weekend while Todd was away yesterday. So Todd left, and so in our laundry room, we have this. So our house, when the previous owners in the early 1990s added onto the house and renovated and all that, they put in this major Cisco, like, commercial grade phone system in the house. Like, we used to have these big ass telephones all over the place with like 10 lines that you could call, and everyone had their own voicemail and all that kind of stuff, right? But it was a Cisco system. Well, it still lived in our house. We don't use it. We cut the cord a while back. It actually stopped working. And then the phone wouldn't ring, and it didn't matter anyway. And we mainly only kept it around because we thought, well, if there's a babysitter, they'll pick up the phone and blah, blah, blah. The reality is the babysitter was going to pick up her cell phone anyway. So we got rid of it. So in our laundry room is where the server box, I don't know the right terminology for it, this huge, it looked like a, what did it look like? It looked like a casket, like sort of a casket on the wall. It was huge. It was probably like 2 feet tall, and a foot wide. And it's on the wall, and it's between our laundry room, for whatever reason, has a shower and a toilet in it, but no sink. And it's between the shower and the wall in this one corner. And I was wanting to reclaim that space for some more shelves to put other things in there, just, so we have storage stuff and just something to do. So I took the server apart on Sunday. I didn't even tell Todd about it, but I took it apart and I texted him a photo, and he's like, oh dear. He's like, what if we were going to need that? What if we need that, Cooper? And I'm like, Todd, we've lived in this house 15 years. We've owned our house 15 years this month. We closed on Halloween Day of 2008. So we've had this house for 15 years, and we have barely used it. And it broke, and we certainly aren't going to need it again. So I took it apart, a simple 63-step process. Every fucking kind of screw head that you can imagine. There was Phillips head, and there was like these, I had to use like a wrench for one of them, and then the straight one also. I don't know the names. Flathead and Phillips head, and then like a wrench head kind of thing. So I took it apart, and then I bought a little set of a wireframe, really skinny wireframe thing, and set it up there. So yay! Eric is saying Fair Day is more important than Columbus Day in Dallas. I agree. And Carrie, hey Carrie, they get 2 Fair Days now. I think it is technically. I think that one is, Eric, you might want to help me. Oh yeah, here we go. You are explaining it. Kids get off both Fridays. Elementary teachers were off last Friday. Middle school and high school teachers have this Friday off. We have faculty meetings on the opposite. So it's a teacher in-service day, sort of. So the kids are off both, but the teachers are only off for one of them. But yeah, you will never need it. Good for you. Get rid of it. I agree. And I am not a just in case Sally. I'll just tell you that. I don't even know what that means. But I am the word. Actually, I'm probably pretty terrible at this, as my husband is the exact opposite terribleness at this. I do not keep things for the sake of keeping them. I do not say, we might need this someday. If we don't need it right now, I get rid of it. And I'm like, we got enough money. We can buy another one if we really, really, really need it. And the chances are we won't even want the one that we have anyway. We will have a need for something that's maybe 2 inches smaller or different or different color or whatever. So it's never right. My husband, on the other hand, keeps everything just in case we might need it. It just keeps working its way from primary rooms down to secondary to tertiary to completely insignificant rooms of the house. The garage is a wreck. We have this 4-car garage. We only park 3 cars in it because there's one of the bays that's full of so much shit. My car sits in the driveway, which I'm fine with because I've torn my mirror off trying to pull in and out of the garage before. So I try to avoid it if at all possible. But yeah, so I redid our laundry room. And like 3 weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, I built a door. I built a barn door. Ordered it on Amazon. I had no fingerprints left afterwards. I had so many splinters on my fingers, but I successfully, and it's cute. So cute. So, of course, I had to have Todd finish it because I assembled it, got it all ready, and then I'm like, I need you to actually put it up. Aaron is saying their kids had those days off for COVID as well. Luckily, you haven't needed them. Are we even talking about COVID in school anymore? I don't know. It's so weird. That's just how it just kind of disappeared. Have y'all seen that Clay Jenkins? So if you're not from Dallas, this means nothing to you. But Clay Jenkins is the lead county commissioner, county judge, Clay Jenkins, and he rules the county commissioner's court. And he has this challenger, and her main challenge is that she is pissed off that how strict he was about the COVID restrictions in Dallas County, right? Keeping things closed for longer than some of the suburbs were, keeping the mask mandates in place and stuff. And that's like her main point, right? First of all, Day Old News, Sally. I think her name is Lauren. Day Old News, Lauren. And then secondly, my whole thing on that is I feel like we were matching what all the other major cities were. I mean, Dallas-Fort Worth, keep in mind, Dallas-Fort Worth as a metro area is the 4th largest metro area in the United States of America. We are only behind New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago. That is it. Those are the only 3 that surpass us in size for a metro area. And they all had equally or worse. I mean, I know LA was still under major restrictions long after we were, as was New York. So I think we got off pretty good, actually. And so I'm like, whatever. But he's got a challenger. I hope he wins. So I feel like he did a really good job keeping people updated. She was just mad that she couldn't open her barbershops or something. We need to see pictures of the door. I know I need to show you. I'm the worst at that. Eric's saying I tore off a vehicle mirror driving into the garage of a gentleman friend when I was single. There might have been a few drinks involved. I one time backed into a pylon. Same reason, Eric. No, I was showing off. I backed into a pylon, not because I was not drunk. I was just showing off. And I backed into it and totally tore up my bumper. And it was a total waste of money and time, and sex wasn't that great. So again, my sister and my mother are watching. And last thing I have on my card today is tonight at midnight. So tomorrow and the next day, Amazon Prime Days. That is I don't know, is that what they're even calling it? Amazon is having this major 2-day sale that is similar to Black Friday, similar to their like summertime Prime Days. And it is a big deal. I don't know if it's called Prime Days. I can't remember what it's called, but it's kind of like Black Friday level sales on all of the things. So I was already not buying stuff this week, and I was dropping stuff into my cart and onto my list. Excuse me, I'm getting all choked up about Amazon. On my list of things, so that tomorrow when I log on, I can see if they've dropped the prices or anything like that. Monica's making her list. I know, yay! But the interesting thing to me on this also is Walmart and Target have also launched a very similar thing. Walmart and Target are both having like major deals this weekend too. Looking for pantry bins and fridge bins. Oh, good. I bought ours at Aldi too. This sale is dumb, Carrie is saying. Amazon is going to make all the other big box do this too. It's called a recession distraction. We are not in a recession. I don't care what anyone says. I'm not acknowledging. I refuse to acknowledge it. But and all of the like consumer sentiment, I feel like everywhere I've been, everyone's still buying everything. You know, it'll be interesting to see how the state fair does this year. I think that'll be a good indicator because that's an expensive outing for a lot of people. But so I'm keeping my eye on it, and I'm keeping my eye on all of the other sales that are happening. Because like Amazon does not sell Google supplies, but Walmart and Target do. So if you need like a Google Home or anything like that, keep an eye on them there. I've got a couple of things that I'm keeping an eye on. Also, if you are a fan of any of like the Amazon brand stuff, so you've got Ring. No, are they Ring? Yes, Ring, Eero, Amazon Basics, like all those brands that Amazon owns. I bought a security system during Prime Days 2 years ago for my office. I bought it for like $99. It is fantastic. I love it. I love the Ring alarm system. So if you need an alarm system, check that out too. So I'll say Kindles, I think are going to, so if you need a new Kindle or you're buying for Christmas time, this is the time. So I will keep an eye out. I'll try to have a list of things tomorrow that I am thinking that people are bitching a bunch about how expensive things are at the fair this year, more than I ever. I saw that too today, Eric. But it was by someone who always bitches about everything. Have you noticed how many brands have even skewed their TV adverts to tell people to throw caution to the wind and buy, buy, buy? It's classic. Look over there. Yes. So I think we're just trying to not talk ourselves into recession because that is what is happening. Interest rates are still super reasonable. Anything under 8% is a reasonable interest rate. We are just so used to free money all of these years that we hear 6% interest on something. We're like, ooh, that's just too much. That's how borrowing and lending works. Lenders should make money when they lend you the money, and it should cost you money to borrow it. I say that as I'm sitting in like my 3.5% house, but still. Carrie's posting in the comments, Amazon's been getting all my money on clothes like this chunky sweater. Yes. I like the Amazon stuff. I buy Claire stuff from Amazon all the time. I have a bunch of random clothes. This is Amazon Basics, my tennis bracelet. So I have another one in the cart that with bigger diamonds, the CZs in it that I'm seeing if they drop tomorrow. I bet a lot of the Amazon Basics stuff drops big time. So we will see. Target has a single Keurig for $50. Oh, I need to do that. Thank you, Monica. I keep forgetting. Ours is on the fritz. Ours, about every 3 times, just goes and then doesn't do anything. And I don't know what's wrong with it. But for $50, I'm actually willing to just throw it away or give it to somebody else who can fix it. So, and Sandy loves the sweater that you posted, Carrie. I have not seen it. I've not clicked on it. Hopefully that doesn't pull me out. Oh, that is cute. I just clicked on it real quick. Cute sweater. Alrighty. Well, if you have any hot tips on Amazon Days tomorrow, is that what we're calling it? Amazon Days? Whatever it is. Send me a message. I want to know all of the deals. I am a sucker for a deal. And you know what? You can always return it. Put the old one in the RV. That is the answer to every question. I will tell you, it's like having a lake house, or RVs like having a lake house or whatever, where if you don't want it anymore, you just move it down to that, and then you buy a new fancy one. Oh, I would like a new vacuum. This one could go in there. I'd like a new bubble. So basically the RV is full of shit we don't really want anymore, but we could maybe use. It's got my old air fryer in there too. So get an espresso if you're truly, no, we're not coffee people. Todd just wants the Keurig for, I think he does the Dunkin' Donuts regular blend coffee or whatever. So, and then he loads it up with not Celestial Seasonings. What's the one? French vanilla, sugar-free French, the one that has the like curvy bottle, whatever it is. That's his style. And I don't drink coffee at all. So, all righty. Well, with that, I'm going to say bye. Let me make sure I hit everybody's comments. Thank y'all. Y'all were very active today. I love that. And I need to go measure myself. Thank you for the reminder, Monica. And I mean that honestly. So, my old stuff was given to Dad, and now looking where it's coming to. You just need to have an estate sale, garage sale, whatever you want to call it. So, all righty. Well, with that, I'm going to say bye. I love you. It's important to know you are loved. I love that you watched this. Thank you so much. Don't shit yourself to death. Take care of yourself. Send me the deals if you see the deals. Walmart, Target, Amazon, Macy's, they're all matching from what I understand. And I will see you tomorrow with an update about deals, I guess, at 4:30 for another episode of Cooped Up Live. Should I say, talk to you later. Bye.